Hey, if you a Dolph fan, if y'all ever knew Dolph, if y'all lived on 75th by Dolph when he was in Chicago, hey, I want y'all to hit the like button, subscribe button, and share this video. Hey, subscribe to the channel, man. Throw the Dolphins down in the comment section if you're new to the channel. I just want to let y'all know one thing. Everything y'all ever heard about this whole case, y'all gotta understand. Black Youngster and Moneybag Yo came through the back door. Everybody think that everybody just was blowing from the front. No, Moneybag Yo came through the back door. Moneybag Yo was in front, and Black Youngster was in black in the back. And his homie K-Dog, y'all gotta understand how K-Dog work, man. K-Dog, he stepped in front of everything, man. K-Dog took the rap for the whole thing, and y'all gotta understand everything that's going on.
I mean, what I don't understand is that why is the glass on the outside of the shop? Because clearly that the bullets came from the inside out. If they came from the outside in, the glass would be on the inside of the store. That's just it's gravity. That's how the universe works. It's not gonna when a bullet goes through glass, the glass isn't gonna stay there still. It's gonna go in the direction of the bullet. I don't understand. I just don't understand.
Like, what are they saying in the reports about what happened with Straight Drop? The two guys that walked up and the Bentley was on the side. Like, yeah. I want to know, what are they saying?
Well, apparently there's some gentlemen that came in through the back. There was two fishermen out back. The back, I guess, is woods and a lake or pond or some sort of body of water. And they observed two people, let's just say two people because we don't know who they are. Two people go in through the back. And clearly that's where the shots came.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know that Young Dolph, everything that he did, like it was a deed that they wanted. And the sources are coming from Memphis. They're saying that the Makedas Raven, she wanted to basically knock Young Dolph off, send him up, all because the deed was set in place. Like, they wanted the deed to Makedas because they feel that by them having two shops that it was going to change. Like, y'all got to really pay attention to what's really going on. And from what they saying is
they're saying that there definitely was more people involved.
Yeah, it was more than one person involved. And y'all got to understand, man, by Moneybag Yo and them waiting across the street, they not finna bring that up as soon as it happened. Y'all gotta understand, man. They not finna even say nothing about that. Like, y'all gotta look at the fact that they even cropped the whole Bentley truck out the picture.
I mean, this is still a lot like a live investigation, which they expect. You know, you figure it's a homicide, so anywhere from 3 to 4 years for this to actually go through the court system. So in the process of all that, there's all kinds of information and things that they're in the process of uncovering to put all the pieces of the puzzle together. At first, when you look at it, it seems really obvious, but it sounds a little more obvious that the people in the front were just there to make sure that nobody got away.
Yeah.
That shouldn't have. That they were there to make sure that shit went down.
Yeah, so that stuff went down. So if you really look at it, you can see that Black Youngster, everything that happened with Black Youngster, it backfired. It backfired. Y'all got to pay attention to what they did. Y'all got to understand the whole concept of what's going on is they bringing evidence to the forefront saying that the people who was involved that everybody looking at, they saying that they should be looking at the people who put the money on the top. You got to understand the prophet and his inheritance. Mm-hmm. And you got to understand everything that he had coming back for him. Y'all got to look at this, man.
I mean, there's investments, there's savings, there's a whole trail of financial that, what happened, what's happening.
Yeah, and this goes to show that everybody that played a role in it, like, y'all can't fault nobody, man. This is a revolving door. Y'all got to understand that some people need to wake up, man, and open their eyes to what's really going on and realize the fact that it was too many people who played a role in this. And the people who played a role in this was the people around them. People think that he wasn't even signed to Yo Gotti. He had a partnership deal with Yo Gotti, man. Like, I know a lot of people scared to comment, and a lot of people really scared because they feel that if they comment, like, if they know, like, people know what's going on. People feel that if they comment that this is gonna jeopardize they, like, what they got going on. No, at the end of the day, it's people that's in Memphis and it's people that know what's going on, but people looking like, okay, I rock with Gotti and Dolph, so I don't want to look like I'm picking sides. And this be something that, you know, my people, man, people need to start worrying about what people think about them. At the end of the day, if you gonna real live sit there and ride for your homie, ride for your homie. That's why you can't have people around you that's gonna backfire and basically turn states on you. Do you know how many people who said this my homie, this my friend, and they turn states on them? Y'all gotta understand this.
I mean, there's a lot of envy too. You know, envy and jealousy, and that'll make people do some crazy things. And unfortunately, you know, you got to keep your enemies close, or your what do they say?
You keep your friends close, but your enemies close. Hey, look, this is something that we all can take heed to. I know a lot of people want to sit back and really look at the fact that Makedas, they really didn't have nobody who really wanted to really rock with them with the whole setup of Young Dolph. And you got to understand, when they set Young Dolph up, man, this was a change in the game because what they did it. They had too many people with them. This is where their hand got exposed. If they would have never had that many people with them, when nobody would have known what was going on. And at the gas station, y'all got to really look at what's going on, how they was watching him at the gas station.
Right. I mean, there's footage of him in the same clothes that he had on when he was shot at the gas station of a third party, a random third. Like, imagine getting gas and not realize someone's recording every move you. I mean, I'm recording every move you make.
Yeah.
You know, I don't pay any attention, I'm sure.
At the end of the day, we know for a fact there's people out here who rocking with Dolph, and there's people out here who sitting back and they playing with they on the chessboard. They pawns in this chess game. And I know a lot of people sitting back looking at the fact that it's people that know for a fact that Young Dolph, he had security with him, but security didn't do what he had to do. At the end of the day, man, first they were saying security is his brother. Then they saying it was somebody that he knew, somebody that he hired. No, y'all got to understand how Marcus Thornton worked. Marcus Thornton ain't going to let his brother, you feel me, get hit up without even blowing back. They said Marcus Thornton blew back, but in the pictures it's showing him just aiming. So y'all got to really pay attention to what's going on. And I know a lot of people really look at the fact that you need to really take heed to what's going on, because it's people out here who wouldn't like the fact of what's like. Want nobody doing that to them. At the end of the day, like, want nobody want them sending nobody up that they know. Like, y'all got to really understand and look at what's really going on and take heed to it, because this is something that is a revolving door, man, and could really affect a lot of people who really trying to make a name for themselves. And you got to understand how Key Glock work. Key Glock not, y'all got to look at the fact, how many times Key Glock not slid on them. Y'all got to look at that, man. It's people sitting back like, oh no, Key Glock ain't really do nothing. Man, Key Glock sent them boys at him, boy. Y'all got to understand, everybody that played a role in it, man. Key Glock sent them people at them, boy. Like, at the end of the day, man, like, this is something that we all know is a revolving door, man. And if you really pay attention to it, we can really like change what's going on. At the end of the day, we know that Young Dolph wanted to change certain things. Like, he couldn't change what people think in the hood and how people act. No, he couldn't change that, but at the same time, he could change what's really going on, man. And y'all gotta really look at that, man.
Everything Young Dolph, Makedas and Yo Gotti. So now when you really look at it and you pay attention to it, Yo Gotti and Makedas, it's a connection there. It's a connection there because Makedas Raven said out of her own mouth that she really if there's anything in life that she ever wanted to do, it was that she wanted to be a part of CMG. She swore up and down that the one thing she could ever wish for in her wildest imagination is to sign to CMG, be a part of it in some way. She doesn't care what she has to do because that's her main goal in life. And so that's basically, from what I'm understanding, that's exactly what
I think we're unique because now, as you can see, we are in a studio.
This is something that we can take heed to this, man. Like, a lot of people know that Raven she knew what happened.
And what I got out of it from, when she did her interview with Skull. And now when you really look at it, don't be surprised if you see actual concerts where Yo Gotti brings Makedas up on stage, because if she so-called wants to be managed by them or manage them or work with them in some way, who's to say that after that interview she didn't get the chance to do that? She might have got the chance to do that. There could have been a time where maybe he heard that radio interview. Maybe he did reach out to her, and because anybody could just walk up inside the cookie shop. So he probably went there and was like, hey, I'm going to bring you out. And so either way, it's an advantage that Yo Gotti will have by befriending Makedas Raven, because he knows that if Dolph has any business to do there, whether he was holding money in the safe, whether he was buying the whole building, including the laundromat, whether he was going to buy out the Family Dollar next door, no matter what Dolph was doing, Yo Gotti knew that the way to figure out everything was to basically go through Makedas Raven, because having her on Yo Gotti's side is going to work to his advantage due to the fact that they know Dolph goes there. They know that Dolph has to go there at some point to either get the rest of his money or to do whatever it is that he has going on there. And a lot of people are now finally coming to the realization that this isn't about no cookies. This is not about food, guys. Okay? This is about street stuff, business, jealousy, greed, loyalty that's not there, and a lot of people, a whole town basically against one. And I don't mean the whole town literally. There's tons of people in Memphis who was there.
Sandra Howdigi is holding our school board.
And we can all take notes from this, because we know Makedas Raven, she did what she did, and she know what she did. Like, it's like it was intentionally done, and people can vouch for it. People can really be like, okay, I rock with Raven. Raven ain't do it. Oh well, don't nobody care. At the end of the day, we know who did what. Like, y'all know for a fact that Raven them has something to do with this.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that she said it, she wanted to do whatever it took to get into the business, and Memphis is small. If you live in a city, as big as they are, they're small, and word gets around. And so I just, he was bound to go to the shop eventually, but somebody knew when he was going to go. Someone had an idea. Who knows? Maybe typically he stops in the morning. Maybe he typically stops in between one place to another. Or in this day and age, how easy is it to put a tracker on anything? So, like, whether it's the car and you stick something underneath it and you don't even realize it's there, or a phone, you ping an IP address and you just follow it. It's easy to track people. And someone was definitely aware where he was going. It's complete. I mean, clear.
Like, we all know this for a fact.
That's what greed and jealousy and
there are those bad apples, those rotten apples out there, the rotten ones who still despise Dolph. They hate him. They're jealous. They can't stand it because they will never see the level of success that he was able to do on his own. A lot of these people, they're sellouts, so they can never achieve on their own because they mind can only think a certain way. And so that's why a lot of people will hate on Dolph, because they're kind of stuck in their way of thinking. They're stuck in the Yo Gotti way of thinking. They're stuck in the Makedas Raven way of thinking. When you break out of that thinking ways, that when you break out of that lifestyle of always doing things in a certain way to either please others or look like you have power, anything like that, right? That's not the way to do things. And so that's why a lot of these people ended up backfiring what.
So we can all go and see that Makedas Raven them, they sitting back, they making moves that we all know for a fact they wouldn't be making if Dolph was here. Like if Dolph was still here, they wouldn't be sitting back doing nothing that they doing. And this really puts everything at bay right now, because we know for a fact that it's justice for Dolph, not justice for Makedas. Makedas and them did what they did, man. Like we know this, man. We all know for a fact that this is something that everybody can really, really pay attention to, man, because this would be something that could save a lot of people, man. Like people don't really realize stuff until it's too late. Like I'm not trying to be nobody who tell nobody what to do or how to live their life, but man, at the end of the day, you got to be discreet about what you do. You got to be cautious. You have to watch what you do, man, because it could be your last day, man.
Protect your moves.
You have to, man. Some people don't look at it like that, man. Some people look at it from a whole totally different perspective, as if they not a regular person. Like, come on now. Like, it can happen into anybody. Anybody can get sent up. Anybody can get touched, like I said. Like, at the end of the day, we know this, man. We know a lot of people don't like Young Dolph. And we know a lot of people want to see Young Dolph sent up.
And hitting his vape and not answering no questions, and they're all trying. It was like good questions too. He was like, man, how do you feel about Dolph, da da da, who's up next, and like what did he give you and all this stuff. And so he's sitting there, and when you look closely, he's got on literally Dolph's PRE chain that Daddie took and gave to him. And what you guys got to understand is that this whole time he was with Jay Fizzle, and they were talking about how Jay was the first one that Dolph signed to PRE.
And as you can see, everything that's going on with Young Dolph, man, like it's all connected to him leaving Gotti label. Like you gotta understand, he kind of finessed Gotti. Gotti don't like that. Come on now, man. And y'all know this.
Out of nowhere, because it's like, how come they wasn't talking about Jay Fizzle all along, but Key Glock was the one that was riding around with Dolph everywhere. So if you really ask me, it's like when they asked Big Moochie Grape how he even got into PRE, he said it was because of Jay Fizzle. And it's like, no, because look, Dolph was the one who signed Big Moochie Grape, but for some reason, Jay Fizzle like put him on, and next thing you know, it's like all these new dudes started popping up in PRE, all because Dolph was trying to give the people he signed their homies a chance and all this stuff. And so, but when you really look at it, Big Moochie Grape is actually closer to Big Scar, who's double R. And that actually goes against PRE. So if you look at it, man, they just money hungry, and they trying to do whatever they can to take the top man off, and so they can move themselves up. So there's a lot of greed in it. But going back to the interview, they asked about Dolph and everything, right?
Y'all know this is something that, like, this is traumatizing, heartbreaking. At the end of the day, we know for a fact Young Dolph tried to set a foundation, man.
Moochie Grape, you look at him and his whole body language and everything, he was acting just like Raven. He was acting just like the Cookie Monsters, man. And this ain't the first time that they tried to put Big Moochie Grape on an interview to explain some stuff, because the last time when they did it in that interview where he has the red background, I talked about that too. So go binge watch the videos and you'll see exactly how the last time they did an interview with Big Moochie Grape, he actually chopped and screwed up the story about what happened with Dolph and how he was actually with him.
Daddie played a big role in
set up
this,
the
man.
whole turkey drive thing. That was his idea. And so he actually kind of self-snitched and told too much about how he was involved and had his hands in what happened at play. And so now the dude that was doing the interview for this new one, he was actually like trying to circle back and like get one last Dolph question in.
As experts in online education,
this sad, man. At the end of the day, we all know for a fact that you can't trust a lot of people. 90% of the people you can't trust. 10% of the people you got to keep in your circle.
Even Jay Fizzle started acting weird, man. And so these two dudes, man, they were acting very, very suspect, very weird and sketchy. The vibes was completely off, and everybody was commenting saying how they didn't get a good feeling of Big Moochie Grape, and that interview that he just did was confirming and proof that he did have something to do with everything that happened to Dolph. And look, rest in peace to Dolph, guys, because if you really look close, the fact that he even had his chain on just goes to show how Daddy-O was able to get literally the chains that Dolph was wearing. Like, how did they get that? Did Maurice take a chain? Did Raven? Anybody? Like, we don't know. And everything is alleged. And so just like how we're waiting for the footage to come out. But the fact that he was wearing Dolph's chain and then ducking the real questions about like what Dolph did to help him and like how he feels about the whole thing and everything like that. He didn't want to talk, but everybody was saying that, oh, he must have been like off something and whatnot. But it's not even that. It's like his whole body language, like I said. And so that just goes to show, man, a lot of people that was in PRE was really not like riding for it like it was supposed to be. Everything in PRE changed after Dolph, man. It's not the same. And you just can't go and say that it's still the same PRE. No, man, they don't have the leader, and you could tell, bro. Like these two dudes, they look like they don't care. They look like they might have known a lot more of what happened and that they might have had something in it. So they were like cautious to like give any praise to Dolph, and they were cautious to like even speak on too much about the whole thing because they know that something's going on and they might have been involved. The turkey drive thing, the fact that Big Moochie Grape had a big beef with Young Dolph and was going crazy on Instagram Live saying all this weird stuff to Dolph.
Instead of rushing to work for someone else.
Like, I want y'all to really look at this, man, and take heed to this, man. At the end of the day, we know who played a role in what. We know who did what, and we know exactly who was in it. Like real talk. Like, at the end of the day, we know for a fact that the evidence coming out now. Like, I know a lot of y'all rock with Dolph. If you rock with Dolph, hit the like button. If you rock with Gotti, hit the like button. Because you can't pick no sides. It's only Dolph or nothing. Like, you got to understand, man, what's going on. And, like, if you look at where Makedas is located, you can see, like, the new location, they made it to where it's right in the open. Like, at the end of the day,
before everything happened to Dolph, like right when they got back from the whole trip to New York. And so, but the guy was like, okay, so he started asking about if they had songs with Dolph that they can get access to, or they're gonna release them. And Big Moochie Grape said something about how he did a lot of songs with Dolph right before Dolph passed. And so it's like, man, he probably used him to do a bunch of songs because he knew what was about to come happening in the next coming days. Y'all have to understand that a lot of people, they be plotting to take down the big dog. It's a lot of crabs in the barrel mentality, and that's why PRE has changed, man, because without Dolph there, it's like the next man up is still like very trying to prove something and take from anybody. Like they don't have no type of future ways to plan on anything. They feel like they have to like almost steal the attention and try to be the.
Sandra Howdy is holding our school board accountable.
hey, look at what's really going on. Pay attention, and you just gotta stay focused. Like at the end of the day, we know a lot of people don't really like what's going on. People don't rock with Dolph like we do. Like at the end of the day, we know this. But it is what it is, y'all. Y'all gotta really look at what's going on, man. And we all know for a fact that it's a lot of chess moves been played in this chess game, man. We know this.
It was planned out well planned.
Welcome back to the fans video. His haircut like that, and I was telling you guys 6 months ago that when he gets his hair up and lined, he does not have pieces of the hair coming down falling like if you had long hair getting a haircut. So it's not like he gets the fro cut short. He just gets the high top face shaped up. And so that means he can still have his hands out. It's not like it's going to get his hands or phone dirty or have a mess being made or anything like that. He's got to watch out for. Anybody that knows about that, people still be on their phones when they're getting haircuts. And his hands were actually above the apron. And the barber chair wasn't even one of the chairs where you can't spin around. No, it's a folding chair. He sits right there and the barber's behind him. So he had more than enough room to be able to hold his phone out and see if the call actually came in. And the fact that T-Mobile hasn't released none of the records, phone records or anything like that just goes to show that he might not have actually got a call incoming that came in, because him if he was already tied up in the cookie shop, basically. So what you guys got to understand is the fact that why is he saying that he had missed calls, but then when you really look at how he gets his whole barbershop experience, he's actually on his phone more than his hair is getting cut. And so people are like coming out now, they're like, man, people in Memphis are like, I refuse to believe that. And so what's happening is that once everybody is like putting the pieces together, connecting the dots, and they put 2 and 2 together, they'll see that it adds up to it not even making sense. And the fact that how is it that, okay, so like who is with him at that when he's getting his haircut? The barber didn't say anything about him having missed calls or verifying that. No, wouldn't you think the barber would have came out and said, yeah, I was with Snoop Bands and it was tragic and this and that? They didn't even say that. And it's like, who schedules, like out of all the rappers in the world, Snoop Bands is the only one waking up at 8, 7 in the morning just to go get the haircut. When it's like, you know for sure that they not waking up that early just to go do that. And so you got to realize that, hey, whatever they made it seem like, they were going to go with the fact that, oh, just in case whatever happens at Makedas, we could say that Dolph was going to do a video there, or they were going to meet him for the video at some point. He was supposed to, the plan was to end up at the Makedas. Maybe he didn't want to go and that they had to pretty much drag him there. So we never will know. But one thing we do know is that Snoop Bands does not get the haircut and have his hands in like a little kid and nothing like that. No, he actually is lighting up. He's high-fiving people. He actually has a secret handshake with the barber. He got a handshake with the barber where they dap it up like it's an NBA going to a game. So it's like he's using.
So if you know, you know. Y'all know for a fact that the brown building with that green, like like overhead, like y'all know that's what Moneybag Yo was
in
waiting
his
at.
hands. He's
It's the
not missing
Calvary.
any of the
It's
calls. If anything, he's playing.
Church or something.
It's like it's
like
Calvary.
a religious thing, yeah. But right across the street, they also have the motel or inn, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So who's to say? I mean, you got windows on the front. Who's to say someone wasn't watching it from the start? It's a lot of moves to be made by many people, obviously. It's clear as day. But I mean, there's so much woods behind there. There's no telling people could be out there. You know, there's woods and water.
Like you gotta understand, people could be ducked off somewhere. Like real live. Like y'all gotta really pay attention to what's going on, man. This is something that everybody know that it could happen to anybody, man. At this point, man, y'all gotta look at this, man, and y'all really gotta take heed to it, man. And if you know, you know. Like I say every time, man. At the end of the day, man, stay tuned, man, and you really got to be focused, man, because we know for a fact what's really going on. Like we know this. Like at the end of the day, man.
I mean, look at the amount of streets there is though behind. There's no way, like it's not like they're in an area where, okay, well, there's one street, we're going to get one camera. I mean, there's so many streets. There's so much behind it. It could be anything.
Like they saying inform the public. Hey, Nola, what to do. Facts, like big facts.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you got to understand what's going on.
Yeah, it's a complete distraction. And the FBI is waiting to come. Obviously, they have a lot of information that they're going to inform, but all of this is going to be private, and we'll find out once we get closer to the trial and to everything, all the information that's coming out. But I figure a lot of it's going to be kept private so that the sides are protected, and so they go to court, they actually have enough evidence to convict everybody in all parts. But right now, I think it's a lot of evidence to compile, because it's not just a one person, two person type of thing. It's a whole drill involved.
Trulla Mafia. Y'all got to understand.
Yep.
Trulla.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got to understand CMG.
Yep, definitely.
Bandcamp.
Yeah.
And there's more to go. Like, y'all got to understand 901.
It's great.
Like, you got to understand 901 Trick or Treat. He commented under my video. I almost did something that, you hear me? I almost called him something. You feel me? Like, at the end of the day, like, we know what's going on and we know what happened at the end of the day. Like, people got to focus, man, and really pay attention to what's really going on.
Yeah.
So if you missed it, you missed it. Like at the end of the day, we know this. So y'all got to really look at the fact that hitting the like button and the subscribe button will be very vital, because you'll get details and updates
Yep, stay
on what's
tuned.
going on. Like, stay